Hello. Come back to this new video talking about self-love and intuitive self. Now, we have talked about love and self-love in the last video, but I was thinking the topic of self-love is such a it's bigger topic than just, why do people, the topic of why do people keep getting back into a negative or bad relationship. Self-love is definitely part of that. Lack thereof of self-love is part of that. So let's dig in a little bit more about self-love. And today, again, a next assistant, little lovely Maisie, talk about self-love. Maisie really loves herself so much that's why she constantly asking to be loved. Yes, and she really know how to take care of herself by getting attention from me and her dad. Anyway, so self-love, let's talk about first, why do we not have self-love, or why some people lack of self-love. Again, I think in the past video we talked a little bit about that, but not specifically dig into this subject. So why someone don't have that? So let's start from a very young age, like in the womb. When the baby get into the mother womb or coming to live, then let's talk about the soul that go into the womb, go into the belly, become the fetus. When mom was pregnant, okay, as a woman, we know that when we're pregnant, we can get very sensitive, and if you are not in the right environment or the right mindset to carry the little babe in your belly, then we can cause a lot of, disconnection from ourselves to the baby in the belly, right? So when you're in the mom belly, if your mom feels sad, have depression, suffering from mental health, struggling from mental health, or struggling in the negative relationship, or not really they have the connection with oneself already, or not really knowing what self-love really is, or not loving oneself, then the baby in the womb definitely would get affected by that. And the baby may not feel the connection, and someone may argue that the baby in the belly, why would the baby know any different? And I have been in this field for a long time, and also have the experience of bringing clients going back to the root cause of this disconnection, lack of self-love to begin with. And many of my clients that go back into the womb-based trauma experience, they all felt or remember that they can really feel or felt the lack of connection, lack of love, lack of connection from that experience. So if you don't believe it, you don't ever have experience in that, you probably go, okay, that's kind of nonsense, how is that possible? But I have been, like I said, I've been working this field, working with the deeper layers of emotion, the mind, the subconscious mind, for a while now, to know that this is all definitely connected, right? So again, and another reason, it's environment, right? Another reason is environment and nurturing. So if you coming out into the world as a baby, as a toddler, only a couple years old, only being in this world, and you experience very negative emotion and traumas, right? So let's talk about trauma for a second. I always explain to my client that this there's many type of trauma, but what really talk about here now is something that did happen and something that did not happen. So something that happened is like abuse, right? Domestic violence, negative, all the stuff that they experience. Something that did not happen, neglect, right? Not just neglect physically, but also neglect emotionally as well. So something that did not happen, meaning that did not receive love, did not receive connection, the baby did not, or the child did not receive care from their guardian or their caregiver, parents, mom, dad, whoever that is. So the baby feel that lack of connection, did never really learn to connect because emotionally was never, the need, emotional need never really get met. So you create this persona or defense mechanism. So you create this defense mechanism, having a wall up to not really feel, because you never really get connected with anybody, so you need to protect yourself. So therefore, you learn not to connect and not to connect with yourself as well, to not really feel emotion, because therefore it will be pain and you don't really know how to deal with emotional pain because you never learn how to deal with emotion. No one ever taught you, right? Because emotional intelligence, learn. You need to learn it. You need to learn how to respond to things in your world. And another reason, so the third reason, I'll talk about third reason today, is a traumatic experience that happened, like an actual trauma event. Could be trauma, relationship trauma, right? Could be like when you, in your teenage year or an adult year, you have met, some traumatic events in a relationship, then you learn how to close your mind from that. So you're learning to disconnect yourself from that, or you really being told that you are not worthy of love, and you believe it because you maybe did not have those type experience before, or no one ever really tell you, hey, that's a lie, you don't believe in that, right? So you learn that, you believe that, and then you said, okay, that's the truth about me, I'm not loved, so therefore I can't really love myself if I'm not loved. So that's kind of three things that I talk about today. So now let's go into, well, that's the reason why we don't have self-love, a lack of self-love, and another go into why is it necessary to actually have self-love and what self-love really is, right? So what is self-love? Self-love, I think in my version, is my ability, or it's an ability to care for yourself emotionally, spiritually, physically, and to be able to get your need met. And when I say get your need met, I'm not talking about like, let's get you to that five-star restaurant, or let's go buy the most expensive handbag, but really get your need met is emotional need, right? If I need to rest today, if I don't feel well today, I'm going to listen to that voice inside of me that say, hey, rest today. I'm not going to schedule 5 sessions knowing that maybe I'm not feeling well that day. So I may even let my client know that I don't feel well today, and we're probably going to need to reschedule because I need to take care of myself, my emotional need, before I even try to help and other people how to learn how to heal themselves, right? And that's kind of like what self-love really is listening to yourself, be able to soothe yourself, learn to validating yourself, not waiting for other people to validate you, but be able to say, I love you, and accept who you are. Accept you are, no matter what you look like. I accept you in any way possible in order for me to care for you, in order to me to put a nourishing meals into your body. I love you, so this is what you need and what you need right now. I'm listening to that. I'm tuned in within myself, self-love. Another thing is that I love myself enough to choose the best for me, to not get into a red flag relationship. I love myself to not constantly, hurting myself or risking my own life to do something that maybe I shouldn't be risking to do. So loving self, praising self, confident in self, see yourself value. And so that's kind of my idea of my things about self-love and why do we need that, right? Why do we need self-love? Imagine, I have many clients coming to me and talk about this. Imagine themselves saying that to me that, oh, I feel so little when I'm in this relationship, or I constantly, eating the unhealthy stuff, or I binges eating because I just wanted to feel better, or I hurt myself, I injured myself or hurt myself, self-harm myself because I wanted to feel something beside that deep pain of my depression. And if we don't have self-love, when we encounter all this type of emotion, when we encounter pain, suffering, trauma, we don't truly know how to connect with ourselves. We don't truly know what to do to react, or instead of react, respond to those type of events that hurting our heart so much. We don't know how to step back and say, maybe that's not the right path for me, maybe that's not the right way for me, because when we don't understand self-love or inability to validate, praise, and love ourselves, we are constantly bring ourselves to go into the situation where it could cause pain. Probably to get dopamine, probably to feel better because you learned a while ago or some time ago that if you do certain this behavior, you feel better. Your dopamine shoot higher, and you remember that great feeling for 10 seconds or an hour or a day, and then you go, okay, I'm going to keep going back and do that again because I don't understand what self-connection and self-love really is. So I constantly want to connect. I want to connect, so I go out there trying to connect. I want to get love, so I keep going out there and do the same behavior, try to get love. But I really don't know how to praise, validate, and love myself. That could be a really big problem, right? Can you see how big problem really is? And that's actually a very big problem into our society, in our world right now. For me, living in Thailand, seeing that all the time in Thai people, growing up in the United States, seeing that a lot in my clients in US, and now that I work globally, my clients in all over the world, I see that across the world. It's a big problem. Actually, for me, that's a pandemic, right? And so, how do we gain self-love then? For me, the answer is very simple. It's starting from the inside. It's starting from the inside of me. To go in, to look at, again, instead of looking myself in a mesh of ball, I look at it, where did I learn that lack of connection? Where do I feel disconnected? Where do I supposed to feel to learn how to love, but then I did not learn how to do that? Go into that the deep subconscious mind, understand all those stories, going even deeper into the energy level, the soul level, spiritual level, going in and understand that, untangle that, unknot that. Help the mind learn the right thing. Help the mind learn to unlearn the lack of love, to unlearn the disconnection, but slowly help the mind learn to connect, learning new things, learn to understand it. Help your mind change the narrative of your own childhood, change the narrative of your own life. Take a little bit of that journey to go into, but we need to be open to accept, to see the true first, to accept that I really maybe don't know how to love myself, so therefore I'm willing to learn this and go into this journey, being vulnerable, being honest with yourself, get help. And to me, that's very simple, but to a lot of people it could be very complicated to bring the wall down, take away the control, or sit down and surrender. That can be hard. But if this is what the journey that you need to go to feel the sense of self-love, to feel connection, to stop doing bad things for yourself, to stop the addiction, to stop negative relationship, to cutting the cycle, to stop the pattern, maybe this is where you need to go onto this journey. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope you find your way. And if you have any comment, any question of any other different topics you want me to talk about, put in a comment, DM me. And I hope, again, this video is helpful. And see you again in the next video. And I really, really hope you finally connect with yourself and feel the self-love. Talk to you again. See you in the next video. Bye!